All right, we're going to call this regular session City Council to order February 10th, 7:01 p.m. We will start with invocation and pledge of allegiance. Ramsey, if you'd lead us.
Lord, we thank you for this opportunity to serve our community, and we thank you for your protection over our city. Grant us wisdom, patience, and clarity as we make our decisions tonight. Help us act with integrity and fairness, best interest of the city.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Moving on from there, number 4 would be announcements. I didn't receive any. Do we have any? Okay, no announcements. 5, citizens input. Oh, sorry, announcements could be for you guys. Y'all got any announcements? No announcements? All right. So 5 is citizens input related to agenda items. No citizens input. We'll move on from there to number 6, consent agenda items. Council, any discussion over the consent agenda items?
Yeah, I've got a couple of things, a couple of questions. I understand that Keep West Cooperative Uniform, P&Z, American Dogs, and EDC are shown as none. I understand that EDC, they just had the meeting last night, so it wouldn't have been on this agenda anyway. And so I understand that everybody's caught up, is that right?
Other
than these that are not here, not listed tonight.
Other than the city, and the city still has some they're working on. Mary's putting a plan in place.
Yeah, and we also have January of 25 and January 26. So we have a few of those that we're catching up to.
Yes.
Okay.
What about the dog report? Is it coming out?
This one did not come in.
They were up to date prior to this month, so now they are falling a month behind again.
We've been receiving them too late for them to be on the meeting, so now when we get them, they'll be on the following month. It's the only way we can do it and ensure that it's there.
It makes sense because if you got to go 7 days before the meeting, and it just makes sense that you don't get it. But so I make a motion we pass the consent agenda items minus I through M, which are none.
I second that.
I got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Greg Sprinkle.
Celia Urban.
Motion passed. We'll move on from there. Old business. A, discussion and action on city employee performance reviews. Department heads complete the performance reviews of their direct reports and provide the documents with performance ratings to the council. I believe that is one you've been working on. Where are we at with that?
That's all been completed. I believe what you all received a copy of everybody's.
I didn't get a copy. Was it
in your packet?
It was not in this recent packet, but it was in when it was new business packet.
I didn't see it. Where was it?
It was in an older packet. I can send you another email of them. I can send you another copy. They're all scanned in and they were done on our end.
Okay, we can send it. I haven't seen it actually.
Okay.
For me, I don't have anything to add to those. For me, I don't have anything to add to those.
Oh, but you did the reviews though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All the reviews have been done. They were put in a packet probably a month ago.
It was last month.
Yep.
Okay.
So, she can resend them. Y'all can go back and pull them out. That way, if you want to get it back on the agenda to discuss anything.
Last month's regular. Okay. That's when we canceled it, or we
tabled it because
we tabled it, right? Yeah.
There was nobody here.
I was out sick.
So how do we want to handle this for now?
I would say table it so we can get a chance to look at it too.
Entertain a motion.
We make a motion to table the discussion and the action on city employee performance reviews to the next meeting.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Greg Sprinkle.
Yes.
Motion.
Cecilia Irvin. Mary, could you send me a copy
Yes,
of
I will send you a fresh copy.
Okay, motion passed the table. Moving on, number 8, new business, discussion and action on possible changes needed to zoning ordinance.
So we have a table discrepancy. Our zoning table has one set of setbacks and our subdivisions have a different set of setbacks. It automatically defaults to the greater set, but it's going to be confusing. PMI has offered to fix the mistake for free. I think it would be the best option to fix it. That way it's not a confusing issue for several years down the road. I just need permission. Schedule a public hearing.
Which one are you taking? The one in the ordinance or the one in the subdivision?
Whichever is greater. Yeah, it's gonna be the subdivision, because it's the greater one.
So she needs approval to do that.
I make a motion that we create, or that we change the,
It's really a correction.
Yeah,
but
make the- we
it's
make
a
the-
correction.
I make a motion, we make the correction with the ordinance to match both subdivision and city ordinance.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second?
Greg Sprinkle.
James Shem.
Cecilia Irvin.
Moving on from there, under new business B, discussion and action on Prada Trucking Home occupation failure to comply with previous extensions given by the city council. What do we have there?
So we still have all of the employee vehicles and all of the trucks, and we were at the point that we were signing them on
Yes, will you make sure his mic is on? If you'll come up and tell us who you are and
And this is the one where you guys are responsible for making the decisions on what happens. I just have to. And the extension was given through January.
okay,
I'm Jose Prado with Prado Trucking. And this is Ivan Prado.
okay. So
Yeah, so so everything business comes through, like everything is in Sherman. So our business is actually run out of Sherman. What we use this property for is to actually keep the vehicles here because of the way that we work in this area. We work Quinlan, Levon, Princeton, and McKinney in these areas, right? So if I were to take the trucks to Sherman, it wouldn't make sense that I have to come back and forth. So as of right now, we do have the property for sale. We are trying to actively move out of this area and move into a different area. But you know, the house, I don't know how long it's gonna take to sell this house, right? What is the issue with, like, is it the business? Is it the trucks? Is there something that we can do that we can extend? Because we are trying to get this out of there. It's actively going. We've had the realtor here today, actually doing all the pictures, and it was listed about a month ago. So, what is it that we can do so that we're not getting fined every day? As of right now, there's nowhere to put these vehicles. If I had a place to put them, I would move them. I do not have it. So what would be the best bet for everybody, in the city to, work with us?
So Lita, where do we stand on
Here's the
legal?
deal, you guys were given a 6-month extension, you knew this was coming. I mean, y'all were given a 6-month extension and y'all didn't do anything until recently. Sounds like you just listed it recently and they had.
Right.
And I understand that, but you know that we're not allowed to operate a business in city limits. And you can tell me you're incorporated in Sherman, but you are operating the business out of West Tawakoni.
Well,
And you're having large trucks come up and down the street. It does cause damage to the roadways, and the city doesn't want to eat the cost for these heavy machines on the city roads. I mean, we were negotiating garbage contracts with dealing with how large of, how many axles were going to be on those machines to travel the road. So it is something we really care about.
right.
So my answer to you is you have to remove the trucks off of the street.
If you really care about the streets, whenever y'all go and mess with the water meters on my street, I'm sure you've seen them. I'm the one that fix them.
Yeah, we are. We're the ones that fix them because
I'm
there's,
the one that spend money on those streets to get that street right. So don't tell me that I'm the one that's messing up the roads, because when
Yeah.
I'm fixing them.
Right.
I've seen you over there running, you know, up on that truck. You can tell that street is smooth as
Yeah.
it can be. Another thing, I feel like I'm being, I want to say it, but I feel like I'm being discriminated. There's a guy over here that's been over there, like 2 minutes from here, that has the same thing. There's another guy over there that's doing the same thing. My neighbor runs a business right there fixing cars. So what's the problem? I mean,
There are rules and
that's-
regulations for whether or
Ma'am,
not
there
you
wasn't,
increase
when I moved in,
traffic
there
on
was
the
no
roadways.
city ordinance when I moved in.
Yeah, there was no restrictions
So
on
don't
that
come and say,
property.
you know, just like this guy right here was against me. He lives on his property. You run a business, you live on your property. So why are you attacking me?
There are regulations in place that were in place, they've been
Well,
in place.
if
for-
they
you're
were, you should have put in when I first moved in there.
Yeah, this
They
has been
have-
6 years.
They have it.
Yes, ma'am.
And we still, and this is the first time that we're getting this stuff though.
Okay.
You know what I mean? This
If
is
you-
the first time in
I'll
6
go ahead and move in
years.
tomorrow, but what about those people over there? They do the same thing. You don't say
I
nothing
can't,
to them.
here's the thing,
and
is
they'll
I
look over
can't
here.
talk about anybody else. I can
No.
talk about what's going on with y'all's property, and the problem is,
I feel like
This is-
I'm being discriminated.
I understand
And you
what
know what? I pay a lot of money for those trucks, more than what you pay for your car. How much you would pay?
Okay,
$20,000?
that's, we don't need to get into all that here.
Well, I feel like I've been
We don't need to
attacked,
get
sir.
into all that here. You're not being attacked. The city has gave you 6 months.
Well, do it right with the same people.
Okay,
Just because I'm
we
Hispanic.
can't address that right now. All we can do is address the fact of where you guys are at. The city has been trying to work with it. They're giving it 6 months.
Do it fair. Do it for them. Do it for them.
Again, I can't deal with any of that right now. I don't know what's going on with them. I don't know what legalities they're under, what's any of that.
Look,
This is the one
only-
that's in
only
front of
time
us
that
right
this
now.
brought up is because that guy next door was renting a house. He made a deal saying about everything, sue me for $1 million. Then he's the one that brought it to y'all, and he's the one that is attacking to me. I feel like I'm being discriminated. How come he don't go over there?
We can't answer why he doesn't go anywhere else.
Well, the thing is, yeah, he sued us twice and he's lost twice. He's lost twice. He sued us twice. There's nothing that we can do about his property and over there. It's all about us and what we're trying to do here. Okay, if he got that 6 months ago, I did not get that. I'm trying to be here to work on this and see if we can get it moving. I'm moving it faster than he can. He's actually driving all day. He's in a truck all day. He doesn't have the ability to stop and be like, you know, this is
We
a
get all
business.
that.
Yeah. So now that I'm here, now I wish that y'all would give us just a little bit more, and I will find something. I promise. I will look for
Go ahead,
something.
Sue. Go ahead,
Okay.
go ahead.
Ma'am, I spoke with you 2 months ago when we walked outside, and I told you there's places around here that you can rent for your truck. You can park there. That was 2 months ago, that I spoke about that outside.
I understand, but it's just not like just moving in, just get this and move over.
Yeah.
So I was appointed to council in January of 25. And in January of 25, we had this discussion, and now don't shake your head no at me,
No, I
because
know.
I'll go get the minutes.
I know we did.
Okay,
But
so
what
we
I'm
had,
saying,
wait, no,
you gotta be fair.
let me finish. So what we talked about in January of 25 was that you were running a business and that you were unable to move the business out of that position or that place, and that you were looking to move your business out in January of 25. In July of 25, you came in and asked for an extension on that, which we provided and gave you. And you told us,
Sir,
no. Let me talk.
I understand what
Let
you're saying.
me talk. Let me talk. So what we did in July was you said, I don't need, I only need 6 more months to be able to move my business. We're ready to move it now, which is exactly what you said. And I'll be happy to go get the video recording of that meeting.
I'm not saying you
Let
didn't say
me talk. Let me talk. In July, we told you you had 6 months. When did you list the property for sale?
It was about a month ago. It was
So
about
you
a month
waited-
ago that I got the stuff and I did it.
I understand.
So if it would have been for me, and if I would have been here July, okay, we would have looked at the options and I would have actively been looking to find everything that needs to be done. This is my family's legacy. This is my daughters and my grandkids' is business. So I'm not gonna just like back down from it. I'm gonna do the right thing, right? I'm gonna do the right thing. I'm gonna try, but I wasn't aware. So what I'm saying is maybe you didn't give him, he's not a great communicator. It's just not, he's not the best communicator. I'm not his wife. I'm his ex-wife. And I take care of the business.
I
take care of
understand.
business. But listen, I'm not, you have to be understanding though. Look at it as a man's point of view. Like, do you think, sometimes men are just not all.
We're not looking at this as a man's point of view.
Look at a man.
This is business.
It is a business. And you know what? Look, I'm here because I'm trying to work it out. I'm trying to fix it, right?
And you don't feel like we've been fair 6 months ago
I
telling him
really-
he had 6
look,
more months.
If he had 6 months, I was not aware of that. Is what I'm
We
telling you.
were aware, he was aware.
but
We're
I'm
holding
saying-
him accountable for what he promised.
Okay.
Yeah, but every time I come in, this is what I do.
Wait,
I
to
just
be
sit here
clear,
and
you're
listen.
not a property owner then, correct?
I'm a property owner.
Are you the property owner for this particular?
Yes, because
property?
these are our children. This is
No,
everything's on.
no.
Yes,
Are you on the deed?
yes,
Okay, okay.
yes.
So then you should be equally cited. Is that what we're?
You can fight me all you want. Yes, ma'am.
I just want to be clear that we have worked with you. We've done everything. We've
Okay,
been
I
very
understand that,
fair.
but you don't get it.
Yeah, and I do, and I look. And
What I don't get is that you haven't done what you told us you would do.
Okay, well, look, you gotta be fair. I feel like I'm discriminated, okay?
I do too.
I-
All right. Council, you have it on here. What do y'all want to do from here?
I think we've been more than lenient. I think that we need to stand by our time.
Make that motion.
I make the motion that, the discussion for the Prado Trucking Company, occupation failure, has failed to do, what we previously extended to them by the city council of 6 months, and that we need to stand by at this time.
I second.
I got a motion and a second on the table. All in favor? Okay.
Greg Sprinkle.
Especially urban.
I got 4, 1 abstain. Guys, it'll be back up to the city with their procedure on what they do from here. Thank you, guys.
And then I have one more thing, sir. I know we already done, but as you know, just be fair, you know? Just like him, he runs a business, he lives in his own business. Be fair, you know? There's a guy over there runs trucks, the same thing. Over here, down here, why am I just getting picked on myself? When I came in, but a while back, what did I did? I just sit in here and listen to y'all. I never say anything, you know? But what I'm seeing now, he's running a business over there. He's running a business over there. And I feel like I'm not being treated fair, you know?
Okay. Is there a process for them to submit something to the city if they see something wrong?
Mhm.
What is that process?
How would you like it to be done, or so as far as like a grievance, or?
Yeah, they can come in and find a complaint like anybody.
Yeah, so you got complaints about somebody else, come in and file the complaint. From what I understand, that's how this one got brought up. It's not that we go out looking for this stuff. It is brought to us and we have to make a decision on what's best for the city. So we're gonna move on from there.
Is there something that we get in the mail, or is there something that we're gonna get after this that will tell me what my fees and stuff are?
So I believe Shannon has already sent you guys everything to it, and she will continue to send those until the problem is resolved. What she's gonna go grab.
And the next step will be filing a lien on the property.
So can I just say one more thing?
That's all right. I'll follow
It is-
the FHA too.
I don't know your name. Is
Discrimination
that Tony?
No, it's Greg. Greg.
Okay. Well, I'm sure you know, the guys that run that business over there. And I'm sure they talked to you about me pulling me out. I literally talked to them. They said you were gonna do everything to get me out. But hey, it's fine. You can let
That's
as
all
much
right.
as you want.
That's all right.
That's
We
fine.
have other options.
Thank you, though.
Okay, we're gonna move on from there, council. 9, under new business, city administrator recruitment progress. I think I can give a quick and figure out where we are from here. I know that we've received a contract and it has been presented.
I'm so excited about it.
Uh-huh.
I'm so excited about it.
You've got it and you're making some adjustments.
Well, and some of it is, we may want to discuss some of the things as to what to counter with.
So we have the option to go into executive session. Do we want to take it back there? All right, I need a motion to move to executive session, please.
Make a motion to go into the executive session.
I got a motion.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Greg Sprinkle.
James, yeah.
This is the urban.
We'll be in special session at 7:21. All right, we're gonna call this meeting back to order at 7:59. Continuing on with number 9, city administrator recruitment progress. Council,
I make a motion that we continue the contract negotiations. And once agreed upon by both parties, appoint Chris Mayor to finalize.
Actually, we would to appoint Chris to finalize the contract negotiation
Isn't that
and
what it is?
proceed
To
proceed.
appoint Chris to finalize the negotiations and proceed with hiring the city administrator.
I'll second that.
we got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Let's go.
Greg Sprinkle.
Kim Shannon.
Billy Irvin.
Motion passed. You got everything you need there, Mayor? Okay. We'll move on there. From there, 10, the legacy project progress. Short and sweet, I like those words. All right, we're gonna stick with our way we've been doing it. A would be discussion and possible actions on updates from city council place 1.
Actually, JD provided a quote for all the equipment that, or cost of equipment that we need for the whole project. The whole project, all of it,
The whole thing, yeah.
the whole thing.
So when you go back and you sit down and look at, so that progress is still moving.
Yep.
Going back to look at options now that we know the cost, okay?
Yep, and I don't have anything on the next two, but the post office, we can talk about something.
Okay, I'll go ahead and throw that out there. So it looks like EDC has already had some negotiations with the post office. The possibility of getting a post office brought to town is not looking very well, but we are looking at options to get our own zip code. So we will be teaming up with whoever EDC has appointed, Casey, and continue that conversation and see where we can go from there.
Awesome.
Okay, that's what I got. All right, so B, discussion and possible actions on update from city council 2.
Radio read meters, or that's really on hold until we get a clear path for where we're gonna get funding. Audits is our, that's what's holding us back there. Hopefully we'll get that done. Maze Lane Rabbit Cove, I'm working on a flood mitigation financial assistance request with EWB and FEMA.
Just as an update on that, the crews will continuously be out there for the next few weeks, working on cutting those trees back. I've asked Public Works to try to help set up something where we get out there and start cleaning up trash in the ditches now that it is so visual.
Along those lines, on the cleaning up trash, if there are people that need community service hours, does the city have a way to get community service hours?
Yes.
Okay, I'll pass that along to the people that asked.
Okay.
I'm gonna pass it on to the judge.
So
Health insurance,
real quick,
I have updates on that.
can you, real quick, I would recommend to have Mary pass that on to the judge to try to get some of that, judge to try to,
Okay,
however
can
those
you-
community service hours are done, to let them know that.
You contact, no, I mean, the way it's, if they've already got set community service hours that they need to get,
yes,
they can just contact us, contact Amanda, and she coordinates all that, yeah.
they can sign a form or whatever, sign forms or whatever,
Yeah,
okay.
and she'll track the hours.
But yeah, give it to the judge as well, because, and I'm gonna see her tomorrow, so
Yeah.
I will actually tell her.
Okay.
I'll tell her, because that'll actually lead towards making people do it.
Hey, okay. All right, go ahead.
health insurance. We're able to be working with Robert.
Okay, so a couple things, a lot of things have actually happened from this. I spoke with CML, it's not CML, it's CXHB, but CML Health formerly. Let them know if we are to exit the pool, what the process would be. We would be, for 30 days, but we would be billed through the end of March. So they brought up some concerns with not only who we're going with, process, and the fact that we're leaving. So now they're really kind of concerned. They sent me this slideshow here that I'll pass around, talking about what we've had in our current rates and our rate changes over the past few years. So let's support it. There's that slide that talks about what it is out in the marketplace on average, and then our historical rate changes. And then these programs we would lose once we exit the pool. Just some things that they wanted me to. These are just. Here's two. Let's see the number. So, the things that they wanted me to let everybody know is once we leave the pool, we would have a 2-year waiting period should we want to come back. And that's if they choose to let us back, and depending on what our claim status were as we left, that if we decide we want to go back into the pool, we would wait for 2 years before we could even get rates. Last year alone, the city benefited from $262,000 in pooling credits, and that's what I passed around through there. That's what a lot of those programs are. $262,000 in claims were not counted towards our premium. Trying to just summarize all this information.
So what exactly do they provide?
There's these programs that we've got. The risk is a little lower in the order to stay in a pool versus out in the marketplace.
So you're saying all that you're passing around is not gonna be included in the new package?
Correct.
According to them.
Well, according to them, yeah, but
According to them.
these are types of programs
what I
that
was
we have with the
Yeah,
pool.
because I'm pretty sure the weight loss thing is in the other one. 'Cause
There
I
might
didn't
be
see it.
similar
Yeah.
programs. I'm not saying that there's not. I'm just saying this is what was given to me.
So I just want to point this one out. 4% of $2,000 is $80. 10% of $800 is $80. And that's the two prices we're paying. So yeah, 10% is the increase. They're telling us that that's the industry average. But you know, you don't have to raise your price as much if your price is already 3 times what everybody else's is. So, you know, they're saying, you know, they only had a 4% increase. Well, 4% of $2,000, which is what we're paying, is $80. 10% of $800, which is what we're going to pay, is $80. So, you know, that,
I mean,
you know,
and I'm
I can make math do stuff too.
No, I'm not saying anything like this. I'm just giving you the information they gave me to pass around so everybody can make an informed decision. And I did want to see what our historical rate changes have been. That's been a conversation throughout the office the past 2 weeks anyway. There was a huge jump in 23, and we didn't have a jump this past year.
Okay, my experience with an independent agent, I've used independent agents for my rental properties with blah, blah, blah. And they do shop, and it's just like Robert said, if the rate goes up, if he's quoting Aetna and they go up, and he can go to Blue Cross, he'll find the best deal out there.
Yeah, and we talked about that. He doesn't like anything going over into the double digits and changes. So at that point, he's really shopping really hard. Something I thought about and I brought up with him, and he was trying to get information, is if we do a 4-1 start, that's kind of in the middle of our budget. So we would not get new rates to budget off of until January 1. So we're gonna have to go half the year on, or whatever, October through January of our current rates, and then we would get new rates from April to September.
So we just need to factor in that the new rates, we're not going to know the new rates when we're writing the budget.
Correct. So he said you could put a 20% increase just to cover if we wanted to do it that way, or if we wanted to wait until closer to budget time where we get different numbers. That's going to be you guys' decision. But I wanted to bring that up because that was something I thought about, because I like having the new rates when I do the budget.
Yeah, and you know what, we could ask him for the rates at that time, at budget time, what they would be if we were gonna, and he could give us.
Well, he told me you can't short plan it. I did ask that question, and he asked his
No,
people.
I'm not talking about change, I'm not talking about terminating, I'm not talking about redoing the plan at that time. I'm just saying, hey, if we were doing this different, call him and say, hey, how much,
I see
what
what you're
should what should we budget?
What are the prevailing rates right now?
Right.
Yeah.
No, and that's totally fine. Those are the only things I came across the past few days. Other than that, I can still cancel the pool. But we still have time. So either way, we are paying through the end of March, and he's gonna give me new rates for a 4/1 start.
What is when you have to, I understand what you're saying, pay to the end of March, when you have to tell them you're canceling.
30 days.
Okay, so, okay,
That's what I'm saying. That's why I feel like we still have the rest of
yeah, okay.
to kind of or I can turn around tomorrow and exit the pool. I mean, that's completely fine. I just want to tell them that I gave you guys information based off what we have, and then I talked with Renew Group and talked with Amy and coordinated that, so they're going to work on getting me rates.
Sounds to me like one of your biggest concerns is if we exit, we're out for at least 2 years.
Yes.
That would be my concern too.
Yeah. I mean, it's a risky move. I mean, but there's a great financial savings too. So there's definitely pros and cons.
Do you feel like the risk is financial or coverage?
Financial coverage, I don't have a concern with.
So if we exit and prices do go up, they would have to go up enough, offset the savings that we're getting.
Exactly. My thought.
For 2 years.
That's why I asked the question.
For 2 years.
That's an enormous, to me, that's not really a financial risk. Because the savings will offset anything that we would have to do over and above. The chances that insurance would double
Yeah, that's what.
would be 2.5, 1.5 times the amount that we're paying. That's I would think that our independent agent had walked in here and given us an absolute slap in the face at that point. If they went up 1.5 times, I mean, 150%.
I don't know how they walk back in here. That would
I agree. Yeah.
Wouldn't be a good idea.
It would not be.
You'll have a city manager we can ask.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we need to do anything on this?
You've already given her the okay to continue working those. She just got this and wanted to make sure we were aware of it.
Do we have a scheduled meeting that allows us to vote on this prior to March the 1st?
I mean, if you want to, but y'all kind of already gave me the.
You already gave it to her.
Okay, so we're good. We just gotta go to you and say we're
Yeah, I
ready
just
to
wanted
go.
to give y'all that additional information as far as an update.
Yeah, you tasked her with moving forward with it all. She got this and wanted to make sure you were aware of it in case there was a change to be made. We still have the rest of this month to make a change.
And then, so like Paula just mentioned, that 2-year going back in is not a guarantee.
No.
So once we exit, if they feel that we are okay to come back based off claims, then they'll come back. If not, they don't have to. They don't have to bring us back.
Okay.
So moving on for yours. Anything under short-term rental?
Yeah, Shannon has gone through and she's seen enough movement in her list of properties showing up and some disappearing that we think that it probably is worthwhile to go ahead and get that report and move on with the Dora software.
It's like, when I went through this time, I tried several different dates, which is very time consuming because you're looking at multiple types. And some of the original ones we had just weren't on there. Some of them had some for one date, not for another. So they obviously move around a lot. It's kind of hard for me to enforce some of these that haven't done anything yet because I can't prove they're there.
Is this a contract with this guy? Or is
I
it?
believe it is. I think it's a 1-year contract.
Okay, so
But it was like 15 flat, wasn't it?
Yeah,
so it's
It really-
flat. And if we don't want to renew it, we don't have to, it's not long term.
okay, so you got the ability to discussion and possible action. So if council is wanting to move that route, theirs is where you.
Yeah, I would make a motion that we enter into that, the agreement with the Dora software for 1 year at a price of $1,500.
This is currently in budget.
No, I do not have it in.
we actually need to get the agreement from them.
Can we look at the software?
He can do a presentation with the software, yes.
Yeah, so what, I need to amend that and say.
Do you want me to schedule a presentation?
That's where I'd go with
We
it.
just move forward with them. I think that's maybe the motion is to move forward with them because I need to probably just look at their agreement and make sure there's nothing poorly in
Can I
it.
make a motion if we move forward with the
Before I get a second, I want to ask one question. Is it already in the budget?
No, not specifically.
So we need her to be looking at where to get it from in the budget as well. So that needs to be, she needs that roadmap to do that at the same time.
And just so y'all know what you're looking at, the paper that you have, yeah, there's 28 listed. Blue is 100% completed. They have CO. Pink is almost done. They just have a couple of hiccups. The others haven't done anything.
I have a quick
And I
question.
did add 3 new ones to it yesterday that I found.
I have a quick question. The money that we collected from this short-term rental list that are blue, right? They all paid a registration fee. Can we not use that money to pay for the software?
The blue and the pink are both.
So, I mean, can we not, I mean, how much, what is that? Is this $3,000, $2,000?
$500 piece.
So it's at least $3,000, probably $4,000. Can we not use that money?
It is, it just needs to be moved around the budget.
Yeah.
It's just a
Okay.
So would we need to do a full budget?
Well,
We need
can
to create the line
you
item.
use that
Yeah,
line
create a
item?
line item,
So you gotta amend the budget by creating a line item.
increasing her income on it and also creating
Yes.
a line item on it.
So you got two things. You're given the okay to move forward with it and for Mary to look at adjusting the budget.
Second.
You got that, Rick?
I'm
How you
kind
need
of
it?
writing in this. And I'll get it.
Okay, so I got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Greg Sprinkle.
Cecilia Urban.
Moving on from there, number C, discussion and possible action on updates from Council Place 3.
Real quick, test cameras were placed at the park today. I have screenshots of the actual footage. It's really good. So we moved forward with getting the remainder of the cameras. There will be 9 cameras in the park in various locations throughout. They get alerts. Paul gets alerts. The police department gets alerts on any activity in there. Meeting tomorrow night with the fan club about selecting the basketball goals. And I have pricing and all that to share with them so that I can come back and show you how we're gonna spend the money on that.
Okay.
Audit progress, nothing really changed. We're still waiting on that to move forward.
Can I add something to it?
You can.
James and Ramsey both have given me contacts for additional CPAs. I'm currently working with them to get some meetings scheduled, figure out what's gonna be best. I'm waiting to hear back from Lewis on whether or not he can attend the February 24th meeting to present 21-22. I have not got a response on that.
Awesome. Great work. Thank you. Met yesterday with Chris and Jeff Irvin at the Quinlan ISD about a new elementary school or an elementary school in West Tawakoni. They're currently not planning to expand an additional school in the area. However, we did discuss and we look favorable, but we do need to do some of the things that we've talked about on the other legacy projects. The speed limit change or the Highway 276 stoplight or traffic lights. We get a lot better, we look a lot better for a place of a school if we have that, because their biggest challenge is not really the property, which is pretty much available or whatever, and they would have to do a bond. So they're probably 3 to 5 years away from actually adding an additional building. However, getting the layout or a way for the buses to come in, not only the buses, but the parents that drop off, to turn in and exit without causing a giant traffic jam. That's why where the schools are now, there's that entire right turn lane, even though it's full of cars in the morning and in the afternoon. They still need that ability to turn left onto, in our world, it would be to turn left on 276. So if it was at somewhere near Mays Lane, then they would need the ability to have a light to be able to turn left onto Maze Lane or onto 276 coming out of the school after dropping off and or picking up. So our biggest thing is to work on getting that light or speed limit change, especially the light change. But having the center left turn lane does make our area more advantageous to them, even without a light, over some of the other locations that they have in their current kind of where they would want to put one.
Seems like that would be a concern now since their buses come through here already.
It is, but yeah, you make a great point. Yes, you do, and they do understand the cost associated with the travel time that the buses spend, traveling 9 miles each way to Quinlan and back from West Tawakoni, and how long the kids are on the bus in the morning. They understand all of that. It was just really nice to sit down with Jeff and talk about trying to find ways to partner with them to get a school here that would be closer. But a lot of that they're going to look at also is going to be the demographics of where are the kids going to be, right? Where are the kids today and where are they going to be in the future? But they also have to look at things like how do they maintain the building? How do they keep the building safe? How do they do all that? And they want 10 to 12 acres for a site for an elementary school, that's a pretty big chunk of land. The thing is, it doesn't have to be on 276, which is our main drag. It just needs to be 10 to 12 acres for them to be able to.
Yes, all right.
That's a great question. I don't know the answer to that,
We
but that would
didn't
be.
go with that. We went with one that I had a brief conversation with, just to see where they stood. So.
But they're a bond election and their demographics and a bond election away from making any kind of a decision. However, I think what we did is we planted a seed. So let's go see if the tree grows. Exactly, and why and what it would do for it. And since it's already on a legacy project, we can already have those conversations. So what the sad thing is that some of the other things that they've looked at where they put in lights or where they look at schools is that the requirements for getting a stoplight are 3 deaths.
I know, it's crazy.
3 deaths, and I would prefer not to get a stoplight for that reason.
I know.
Well, that's the problem, but we haven't had, I don't know what the numbers are, so. But on 276.
Yeah.
On
All right.
276.
We've had
in the
several.
past year.
Or half, it's in that zone, it's
Yeah.
like in the region,
Yeah,
Let's stay on track. So basically what we're gonna do is continue on with, place ones of the, speed limit and the traffic light. And then as we get that, we'll get it back to him. So he'll have it as when they start doing future planning to keep us hopefully in that plan.
new developments also make a play for
Yes.
having a school built in their area. So if they put in 300 homes, then the developer a lot of times will make a play for putting a school in to that development. So.
Okay.
That's it for me.
All right, moving on to D, discussion or possible action on updates from Council Place 4.
Highway 276 to Rabbit Curve. Were you able to talk to Jacob Martin to see if they can give us a?
They are so swamped right now. I've got to get them to keep working on their current projects before I can do something else. I did talk briefly with her about it, but I don't have a quote or a study back on
Just
it
need
yet.
an estimate. Some sort.
Yeah.
So that's that. Street lights, if we see, that's assigned it to an engineer, so he's working on it. I talked to him, he said it's gonna take 3 weeks or more. But, so that will be done and they'll come back to us with a proposal. New City Hall, Mayor, you're trying to set up that meeting with the East Tawakoni Mayor. So, and I
So
have
just as a-
exactly prepared.
Yeah. We've prepared some layouts looking at the positives and the negatives, the legality, so that when we sit down there with them, if there's any interest, we'll have these talking points to go over. Okay,
That's all
anything
I
else?
have.
All right, moving on to E, Discussion and possible action on updates from council, place 5.
All right, the community outreach, I met with Mary, we talked about, she's already got a newsletter started, and we've talked about wanting to add to that as far as, things that are going on in the area, or, we've got on our city website, kind of history of West Tawakoni, but that would be a kind of a similar thing to talk about, something, or uplift a group that's doing an event or something like that, make it, we need volunteers for this next month, anybody interested, get in contact, put that sort of stuff out there now. I've talked with a lot of people in the area that are really interested. They missed the newspaper that we used to have, which I've been here 8 years. There wasn't one when I came that I know of. Anyway, so this week I've talked with, her name, Dina Fleming. Okay, talked with her, gave her information on our website where she could send information to that she would like to be posted. I went to the EDC last night and gave her the same information. And I've also talked with the library. The library is interested in making sure that we get information. Their board meets, I think, like the 3rd week, and then they'll have information for us. So we're going to hopefully have some information to put on there. I'm stirring it up, but getting people to actually give me information is the next step.
Maybe I would recommend setting exactly what you're looking to have on there, so it's reoccurring.
Okay.
And you might sit down as a group and kind of figure out what exactly that you want to see on that. And it might be that you get to the library and they have them give you an update by such and such time. Whether it's planning and zoning or Keep West Tawakoni Beautiful, an event they have where they need volunteers,
Okay.
or something like that.
Okay.
But you got to set those expectations where they're reoccurring.
Yeah.
You're gonna make it as a newsletter.
Yes, and that's why I was hopeful that they would want to put their information into the social that we have, and getting them to do that, getting them in the motion of doing that. I'll just have to remind them, and like you said, go back and say, okay, I need this by so and so time.
But you'll have to set some deadlines in there so that thing can come out on a certain time every month.
Yes. Okay. Good. Okay, and then we had talked about adding signs, like business signs or signs along 276 or whatever. Met with Shannon one day this week. Wednesday, was it this week or Friday?
Monday.
Okay, Monday. So met with her Monday, and sorry, I'm retired. The days all blend together. So anyway, we did pull up what we have on signage, and if we can, and I'm not sure the procedure for this yet, so y'all can tell me. I'd like to put it on the 24th, be able to talk about what we already have and how we'd like to change that.
So you just need to, we need to email it, or we need a motion to have it on the agenda? We don't, because you already have this, so you just need to get it to Mary and ask her to get it on the agenda.
Okay, I'll do that. And then I was gonna add a third one for a business directory, but when I went to EDC last night, they're already in the process of that. So I was like, all right, sure, so I have to do that one. So they're working on that. already.
But that's a perfect segue into making sure that business directory is also available through the West Tawakoni website, right? So you have this page of information, but we have community members that are also doing events, that are also doing business listings, that are also doing those things. I think we need, I think there's a great way for us to, I don't want to call it cross advertise, but cross, things that are going on with the Chamber of Commerce should be available to somebody. They should be a link on the West Tawakoni page. Things that are on the Chamber of Commerce page that we're doing should have a link on the Chamber of Commerce page, so that the EDC, all of the different websites that are out there are all pointing to all of the other things, right? Because it's about how many times it's about engagement. is how you get things to get better recognition or better visibility. And so using social media, instead of going here I go to the West Tawakoni website because I want to look at this, and I go to the Chamber of Commerce website because I want to look at this. And yes, you might start out at one of those, but how many rabbit holes have you been down on the internet?
Well, and that's a really good point too. That's kind of what I was thinking this should do, because, you know, there's a lot of that, like the agendas and the notes and everything are already on the websites for every meeting that happens, and they can see them on YouTube, but people don't go there. So we have the option to do, offer it out where they can be texted or emailed. There's a procedure for that. Or they have to come to the website, and get them to come to the website is what people don't do.
Because they want the 30-second version, right? That's why Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok, all of those, they work because everybody has a 30-second, it's a 30-second fix. And those are the things that get the engagement. And if you see something, I saw a post of an 11-pound black bass being caught at Tawakoni last week. Well, that excited me, so I went and looked at that information because I can't catch a bass on Lake Tawakoni. So, but somebody caught, but they're catching, Cheryl lunkers now in Lake Tawakoni, and that's something that if you didn't follow certain pages, you wouldn't see that information.
So if we went that direction, though, that sounds like something more than once a month. Like if something comes up, you would go on and post it at that time.
Maybe that's the way to go. I don't know. I'm not the social media person. I just like to see I think we should try to have as much engagement as possible. When you talk about community outreach, it should be as accessible and easy and forefront as possible to all of our citizens and all of the people that surround our citizens.
So should we go the procedure of trying to get the email text blast and go through the procedures to get that put out there so that people can say yay or nay?
I would recommend going out and looking at it and seeing the cost and the feasibility of doing that.
Well, there's not a cost.
Something's data's gotta be collected somehow.
To use the programs like text out, to do the text blast or email blast, sometimes there are the costs associated.
Okay.
The software to use it.
Yeah, you gotta figure out that software and who's gonna oversee that, getting that data put in there and all that. And then I would also recommend, I could be wrong, but we may need to be looking at ordinances that are already in place in regards to advertising for businesses within the city. As well as our social media policy.
We have our social media policy.
But if I remember correctly, there's something out there where we're not supposed to be advertising for anything outside the city itself. I could be wrong, but I would recommend that we look at that.
It's a pretty lengthy policy.
Yes.
Okay.
Just so as we move down this avenue, we need to know whether we're getting that amended or not.
Okay. Oh, I wasn't thinking outside the city. I was thinking.
No, I'm talking about
Oh, you
it's
mean
set.
like outside city entity, city
Yeah.
of West Florida entity sharing or
Yeah.
doing things like that.
Yeah,
And that's
that we-
regards to social media.
Okay.
But we can sit and talk. Keep our conversation going.
Yes.
We already have been.
Okay.
Lee, do you have a question?
No, I
There's a thought bubble there.
Let's make sure sometimes if it's like a benefit, it also would benefit the city. So like if it was staged, if there was an event slightly outside city limits, but there was also like a city, right, exactly, I think you could still advertise that.
Yeah.
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 Does that makes
Yeah.
sense? Yeah.
Okay, I want to make sure we all understand on all these, we put the discussion and or a possible action. We're not taking any actions on anything until it comes up and we have approved it. There's lots of discussions going on. There's lots of ideas. Gathering a lot of data, but nothing's being put in place until it comes in here and is approved. And we're looking at all those things, whether we need to update ordinances or whatever needs to be done. So we're looking at how to do some of this stuff. Some of this stuff we'll be able to do, kind of like school. We're looking at how to get it presentable for the future. We may not be able to get anything done now, but we're getting that stuff. So we're talking about doing all these things, but that's what we're doing is we're planning and looking and trying to figure out if we can, what it's gonna take. Some of it financially isn't there, and won't be there for a while, but we don't know until we look at it. So as conversations are going on, I don't want people thinking, hey, we're gonna run out here and do this, because we're not until it is approved. It can't be approved if the money's not there. It might be something we look at figuring out for next budget, but just want to make sure everybody's aware of that because there's lots of little things going on and nothing is final until it's approved. Okay. All right, nothing else on there? We'll move on to 11, citizens input, 3 minutes, non-related to agenda items. I have none. Move on to there for number 12.
Motion to adjourn.
Got a motion?
Like that.
Got a motion? Second.
Greg Sprinkle. I feel like if I make the motion, you can vote to adjourn.
James.
Billy Irvin.
We're adjourned at 8:35.
I feel like if I made the motion, I shouldn't have to vote.